Skull Squad, what is up? Welcome to my first drawing type video. In this video, I am doing a wintry themed version of my Discord avatar, which is inspired by Sally from the Disney film created by Tim Burton, The Nightmare Before Christmas. So as you can see here, basically I'm using a Winx Club template, and if you guys are wondering how I did the Tim Burton eyes, that I will explain as I continue a little more throughout the video. So here we go. All you need to do is use a white paint for this one, and then just digitally erase the outline of the iris of the eye within the Winx Club style. And that includes the pupil as well. You want the eyes to look blank in order for you to draw the Tim Burton style eyes, and in order for this to look very creepy. So once you've erased both irises and pupils that are drawn in the original Winx Club art style, basically what you get to do is you get to draw a little black dot. Feel free to make it as small as you want. The smaller, the creepier. Because you know how gothic looking the Tim Burton characters usually are. So, yeah. Apparently the first attempt I made the first pupil a little bit big. So I had to modify it, both of them a little bit. So I decided to make them about a little bit smaller than what I did on the other eye. So yeah. And I do apologize for the fact that I was messing around with the app a little bit because I almost lost my color palette. And of course, I lost a couple other things when doing this. So yeah, I had to rework my way around within the process. So yeah, basically I drew the glasses, and then I obviously drew the stitches around my mouth. And I'm sure you guys are going to be wondering, why didn't I use the Hunter x Hunter template? Well, the reason why I didn't use the Hunter x Hunter template is because it's not going to look nice when I change the color, having it be blue around the face and torso. So that was something I could not avoid when working with that. So that is why I used a Winx Club template as a base. So it makes things a little bit easier. And then as you can see, I already tinted the hair red. And then I had to increase my brush size and just kind of color over any outlines of the head where it is supposed to be bald on the original template, and just erase the black lines to have it look nicer, a little bit more finished. Because you want to make sure that if you're drawing clothes or if you're drawing hair on these templates, you want them to look finished, and it's better to do it digitally. That way you can erase what you don't want, like what I did with the eyes, for example. That's why I did that. And then I made the dress black for a little bit just so I can separate it by color. So next, same with the lips, I made them red, just like my hair for this avatar. Now, following that, I then obviously did work on the dress for a little bit, but then I was also screwing around with the app, which I had to fix. But that's another story if you're wondering why. But before I worked on the dress, I worked on the stitches. So basically I had to extend the end of the mouth and just draw a straight black line that's slightly curved, and then I drew some X's to act as stitches. So this was obviously pretty simple, similar to my other Discord avatar that I'm using currently, which I'm going to have to switch to this one next. And then, of course, I drew some stitches on my neck. for this one. And obviously, this was when I started working on the dress and then started screwing around and fixing my problem why I lost everything. It was a little bit of a challenge for me to reset everything, making sure the color wheel was up. So I kind of knew what I was doing wrong. I like this wheel up for a reason, and that's because it makes things a little easier for me to control the brightness or the intensity of how bright or dark or light I want the color to be. Especially when you're working with shades of blue or purple, or if you want to go all monotone. That's why it's easier to work with a wheel. If you guys know what I mean. So obviously I had to make sure I white out part of the dress because I wanted to draw some designs. So this one has more prints than the other dress I did. So basically all I'm doing is just something a little different. And again, this is for the winter season. So that's why I decided to have things be a little bit more cool toned, all blue and white and purple. I wanted things to look all snowy. I know I should have drawn fur, but I'm going to do that on another avatar. I don't know when, but I'm going to work my way around it. I've never drawn something like woolly or furry or heavy. Basically, all of the clothes I draw on these avatars are basically all solid and flat and skinny. And this is where I started screwing around because I had no idea what I was doing. So unfortunately, I had to work my way around this one. And although working around it was not easy, however, at least I got part of it fixed. And just so you guys are aware, I'm sure you already saw that I was trying to mess with the percentages. I thought going up meant 100, but I realized that I had to go down. Excuse me. So then in the end, I did fix everything. Unfortunately, I didn't have my brush settings up. But other than that, everything was back to normal. The way I wanted things to be on Metabang. So yeah, at least that is fixed. Although, following that little issue, I decided working on the rest of the dress as well as the rest of the stitches and the shoes. So yeah, there you guys kind of have it. So what happened from here was I started working on the bottom portion of the dress, made it dark blue, and then for the other half of the dress I decided to make it purple. Oh, because I thought it would look better that way. I didn't use other shades. I didn't know what to put with this one. I was gonna put yellow with this one, but I didn't think it would look right, so that's why I did purple, since I think it looks a little nicer against this little palette. I should have used a different color, but hey, it's my choice obviously for this. But other than that, this is the shade of purple that I used. And then after I erased the leg line inside of the dress skirt, I decided to draw some little designs. But before I drew some designs, I decided to color in one of the sleeves a different color. Wanted to make it purple. And then this is where the fun began. I decided to draw some snowflakes on the white side of the dress. And then proceeding on from the snowflakes, I did some little moons on the blue side of the dress, like you see here. Then on the lighter purple side of the dress, I decided to draw some hearts. I was going to make them a lighter purple, but then it looked very awkward for a second. So therefore, I decided to make them pink, just so that it would look nicer against the color of the background a little bit more. Besides, I like the way this looks. I decided to draw a couple hearts. And then on the darker blue side of the dress, I drew some flowers. I don't know why I drew flowers, but I just thought they looked cute. I was originally going to use a dark purple, but then it looked ugly against that shade of blue. So instead, I decided to make it into a lighter purple and just draw some random flowers. And then I just outlined them and shaded only the petals in. I left the inside alone just because I thought coloring that whole thing would really mess the whole thing up. So that's why I just colored in the outside and not the inside portion. And then after coloring in those flowers, I decided to draw the shoes, make them purple. So I had to outline the whole thing. And of course, I had to erase the outline of where the foot would be. That way it looks, again, finished like I did with the hair. As well as with the rest of the body, where I didn't want some muscle mass on the torso showing. So, yeah. Anyways, after getting rid of the outline of where the foot would be on both ends on the shoes, I then proceeded on to draw the rest of the stitches around the arms and around the legs. And then for an extra bit of flair after drawing the rest of the stitches, I then just decided to obviously do something I would do on my avatars currently, since you guys don't normally see me personally wear eyeshadow a lot. I decided to do this myself just because I think it looks good on me. So after drawing some stitches around the arms, the legs, and then one towards my eyebrow, like you see in the movie, I finally added some purple eyeshadow on both of my eyes. So yet again, normally I don't do eyeshadow in real life, but this is just something I wanted to do on my avatars. That way it looks nicer. And then as an added bonus, I decided to give myself a little purple background. And then, of course, I did write exactly what I did. And last but not least, all I had to do was just finish what I was doing. And then I decided to just save it. And obviously, that's my newest design that I did, inspired by Sally from The Nightmare Before Christmas, which is my favorite movie currently. So, yeah. Other than that, everybody, I'd like to say thank you all so much for watching. And before I close out, I would like to give a shout out to Ali Stitches for her amazing Main 4X autistic listener, because I'm going to reveal this to you guys. So here it is. And I'm going to tell you all the truth. So I'm going to issue a bit of a trigger warning at the same time. So here it is. I'm sure you guys probably didn't know this about me, but I also have like the ASMR states. I have it. And with certain sounds, like if I hear a fire alarm go off, or if I'm on a cruise ship and I hear a boat alarm, which is the same deal. In other words, if you're wondering what I'm talking about, basically that means you would hear the ship's whistle, bells, and alarms during the what they call a muster drill. That means that you would have to go to your assigned assembly station with your life jackets on, and you would have to wait for further instructions from the crew member that is your assembly station leader. And obviously you would be put in a lifeboat in case of an unlikely event of an actual emergency, which is mainly why I don't do well with certain sounds. But again, big shout out to Ali Stitches. Awesome job. And everything that you kind of said within the characters' voices is actually correct. Other than that, everybody, once again, thank you all for watching. I apologize for triggering you guys, and don't forget to subscribe and join the Skull Squad. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.